Hi, this is April Bower, and I want to give you a little backstory on how the April hammer came about and why. In college, I bought this hammer for the crossbeam, and it had a flat square end on this end, and I don't know what exactly it's for. I think it was a boxing hammer, but it was of absolutely no use for me. It was not useful for me for any reason. So years later, I came into a workshop that I had access to the tools that I could shape this into a polished round ball. And I started using this ball part of the hammer and this wooden block to create the Anticlastic formed bracelets that we will be making with the April hammer. So I would make them and demo them, and people would say, oh, well, I'd love to have a hammer like that, where can I get it? Well, they were not available because Dixon, who makes this hammer, was no longer making them, and there was just nothing available with the length here that we needed. So I searched a long time, and I found Chuck at NC Black, who was willing to make me a quality, affordable hammer to my specifications, and we worked together on the design, and it's a wonderful made in America hammer. So the swedge block, this was my original one. As you can see, it's nicely worn and rounded, and it's just a piece of pine 2x4, but you can carve in a little shape, whatever you need. You carve it once, but it's there forever to use over and over again. This was a baby spoon that I made, and I just needed some sort of shallow indentation one time. So these are all different parts, but this is the working part here and here that I duplicated in the student ones and the ones that I use in my classes and the ones that you can purchase. I call it a swedge block. It's a swage block. It's always going to be a swedge block in my mind. But it has a couple of working parts and a groove, and you can carve into it to your heart's content. But that's what we're going to use, the April hammer. And I just wanted to tell you that there's lots of things that you can do with it too. You can also use just the slight curve to make slightly domed earrings, or like the ones I'm wearing here, these hoops. Or you can make cuff bracelets. These are some of my current designs. And you don't have to use heavy metal, because curving it in both directions, Anticlastic is both directions, makes it very strong, and doesn't have to be heavy. This is probably a 23 gauge cuff, and this little guy is probably a 20 gauge. It's a little narrower, so I went with a little bit heavier, and also because I was putting in a heavier texture and I didn't want it to get too thin. But that's the backstory on the April hammer, and you can go to my website and check them out to order, or you can order the April hammer from NC Black directly. So we'll show you how to use it in the next little clip.